who's the real president of this country? Is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne. It's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden, and don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris. And the reality is, because we are in office, we do the things like the child tax credit, which is going to reduce black child poverty by 50%, on track to do that. We do things that are about saying that our Department of Justice is going to do these investigations and require that we end chokeholds and have body cameras. It is the work of saying we're going to get lead out of pipes and paint because our babies are suffering because of that. It is the work of saying people who ride public transit deserve the same kind of dignity that anybody else does. So let's improve that system. It is the work of saying that we have got to bring down prescription drug costs because folks who have diabetes...
I want you to know that Madam Vice President, that Kamala Harris, that's the one I like. That's the one that was putting the pressure on people in Senate hearings. That's the one I'd like to see more often out here in these streets. Thank you for joining us, Madam Vice President.
I'm glad to be with you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
First, I want to thank everybody that has subscribed, liked, commented. I appreciate everything that you've said. No matter what you've said, I appreciate the likes. Please share this with your friends. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you hit that share button. We're trying to make sure that everybody know that they're not victims, that they're empowered for greatness, that we can make a difference again in this nation. That we can stand up for biblical values, we can stand up for truth and push back against all the lies and everything that's false that's taking place in this land. So I appreciate that. And please, thank you for looking at my videos and participating and making our voice known. So on Friday's show that is hosted by Charlamagne, I'm not gonna call him what he wants people to call him because there's only one God. There's only one God. His name is Jehovah, and his son is Jesus, Yeshua. Okay, so I'm not gonna call another man a God. But on his show, on Comedy Central, he was interviewing Vice President Kamala Harris. And towards the end of the interview, it got kind of testy when he asked the Vice President who's really running the country, who's really the president, Joe Biden or Joe Manchin. And so Kamala Harris defended herself and Joe Biden. But the point I want to make is progressives and liberals are really getting upset with Joe Manchin because he's not rubber stamping all of the progressive wish list that they want. For example, he just said that he will not vote for the Build Back Better bill, which is not Build Back Better, which is essentially a great reset. And so they're up in arms. They're upset with Joe Manchin. And they're pointing the finger at him, saying he's holding up progress. He's hurting black people because he's not allowing the progressive agenda to be implemented. Actually, I applaud Joe Manchin because all this stuff that these progressives are looking to do will destroy this country. It will destroy this country. Democrats always talk about preserving democracy. You have to understand something. When progressives and liberals talk about something, they either are projecting something that they are doing or something that they want to do. When liberals and progressives usually talk, they're either projecting something they are doing or something they're about to do. And they want to destroy this country. They want to subvert it from the inside out. So they don't want to save a democracy. No, that's a smokescreen. They want to destroy it. They want to rebuild it. They want to destroy our Constitution and remake it in a socialist and communist image. So getting back to people like Charlamagne. See, people like Charlamagne consider themselves the gatekeepers of black culture and the black community. And for the most part, they all vote democratically all see themselves as liberals. They all see themselves as progressives. And see, that is not conducive to the community flourishing. It doesn't allow creativity to flow, because if you want everybody to think the same way, that stifles creativity. That stifles individuality. And that's what they want. So when they talk about how they don't want an authoritarian government, like I said before, they're projecting.
I have had direct conversations with prime ministers and presidents and a king, some of whom I have had over to my home. And they are around the world saying, what's going on with you in the United States? What's going on with this voting situation? What's going on? Because right now we are debating whether democracies actually can survive, or is autocracy better, which is basically one person or one group telling everybody what they should do. This is what's at stake right now for America.
They want an authoritarian government. Why do you think they are pushing mandates to enforce everybody to take an experimental shot? Why do you think they're pushing things that people don't want? You had Joe Biden talking about it's not about freedom anymore earlier this year.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you.
I say all this because we have to understand, progressives and liberals, they want us to be victims. They want us to be subservients, serfs of the state. They want us to be tethered to the state, to remove all individuality, to remove any personal property or private property. They want to get rid of all that. They want to abolish all those things and have everybody subservient to the state. And they're upset with Joe Manchin because they see him as a roadblock. They see him as a hindrance to this plan being implemented. But what folks don't understand on the left is that we are not a democracy. We are a democratic republic. We have three co-equal branches. I know in the past 20, 25, 30 years, maybe even 40 years or 50 years, it seems like that's not the case, as if the president is a king or a potentate and everybody worships him. But that's not the case. The president executes the laws. Now, he may work with the Congress to push things, to push his agenda, but it's up to the Congress to write the laws.
Stop being politicians and just be real with the American people, Madam Vice President, because we know Joe Manchin is ruining this country. The stuff he's holding up progress on are hurting people. They're hurting black people in particular. If Democrats allow Joe Manchin to continue to do this, how do you convince black people to come out and continue to vote for y'all? He's holding up progress. We know this.
We are separate but equal. We are a democratic republic. And progressives don't want that. That's why they do everything in their power to subvert the institutions, because they don't like the fact that we have separate but equal branches. They want a president to be the king. They want their authoritarian agenda to be pushed. That's why they're upset with Joe Manchin. That's why they're upset with Joe Biden. And that's why he asked that question to Kamala Harris. That's why. And this is not good for black people. He is on his show claiming that he speaks for black people. Just like he doesn't speak for black people the same way Candace Owens doesn't speak for all black people. Black people have a mind of their own. We can think for ourselves. We don't need anybody telling us what's good for us. We can make that decision on our own. Give us the facts. Give us the truth and allow us to make decisions. That's our God-given agency. We can make decisions on our own. We are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. And so you will not hear this anywhere else. That's why the progressives are mad with Joe Manchin. That's why they're upset with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, because they want him to ram this agenda through so they can continue down the path of subverting our nation and destroying our Constitution. And they'll use black people to do it. They'll use black bodies to do it. Because they know if they can wrap it in blackness, people are more apt to allow it, to swallow it, to let it be. Because of all the things that have been done to black people in this country. But we are not victims. Black people, we need to wake up and push aside all these gatekeepers who claim to be speaking for us and tell them no. Give us the truth. Give us the facts. We're smart enough. We have enough agency. We can make our own minds up. because we are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. Thank you so much for liking your comments and subscribing to the channel. Please share this with your friends. Smash that like button, smash the subscription bell, share this with everybody you know. We're trying to make sure people understand that they're not victims, that they are empowered for greatness, and all of this stuff that's out here that's telling them otherwise is false and will not benefit them in the end. So please, I appreciate that. Share that.